Ancientpear here. When finding something to buy, one of the key things you need to look for is the price. Is it in your budget? Are you getting a good deal? Is it going to be worth your time? In this video, I'll tell you everything you need to know about pricing everything in TF2 trading during 2021. Backbat.tf. This commonly used site is the backbone of trading in TF2, and is one of, if not the most commonly used site about TF2 trading. You can simply find the price of the majority of regularly traded items such as unique, strange, genuine, and vintage quality weapons and cosmetics on backpack.tf. These items often have a low margin between the sellers and buyers, which is commonly centered around the backpack.tf price if it's recent. To check if the price of an item accurately reflects what the item is now worth, you simply need to check if the item has been priced 3 or less months ago. Unusual hats, especially ones that are traded often, should also end up selling for close to what they're priced on backpack.tf if they're out of date, but there are several cases where that is not the case. Take a circling heartlip party phantom for example. Although it was priced at 105 from a clean sale about 3 months ago, most people wouldn't dream of selling one for that low for a clean now. This is most commonly seen in miscellaneous items due to the constant explosion in price that they have gone through in the past year or two. This can also be seen in high-tier Halloween effects. For example, a Cloudy Moon Dead Cone. It was recently priced at 67, but the buyer at 64.5 now makes 67 seem almost like a quick sell price. You must compare similar effects on the hat or other hats with the same effect to make sure you don't end up paying too much and end up with a loss. Unusual hats under the price of 50 keys that have been recently priced should be expected to stay around that price for 3 to 4 months. This may be different if it's a rare hat such as phosphorus, sulfurous, or other robo effects that are rarely traded, or a collector's sale, or a quick sell sale. Prices may differ, so check the other effects even if they're priced recently. If the unusual hat is unpriced or is extremely outdated, you must check the sellers and buyers of the hat, and check other similar effects. And an example of this would be the Scorching Vival of France. It is outdated by 2 years and has a sell at 250. If someone offered this on one of your hats worth 200, you might think you're getting a pretty good overpay deal because it is 50 keys and unusual overpay. But if you look at the price of the Burning Flames Vival of France, you will see there was a price around 120 3 months ago. You should always check similar effects of the same hat before buying an item to prevent yourself from losing profit. Buying and selling spells is one of the fastest ways to climb out low tier trading, but if you get stuck with an impossible to sell spell, you might just end up losing all your money, so you should be careful when deciding what spell to buy and how much you should pay. First of all, you have weapon spells. It is Exorcism, Halloween Fire, and Pumpkin Bombs. Pumpkin Bombs can only be applied to classes with explosives, such as the Sticky Bomb Launcher for Demo Man or the Gunslinger for Engineer, while Halloween Fire can only be applied to flamethrowers. Exorcism generally doesn't add too much value to an item, adding maybe 1 to 2 keys on top of the value of the item. If it is a rare item such as a frying pan, golden frying pan, collector's item, or glitch item, the price of this spell can skyrocket. Pumpkin Bombs will add anywhere between 1 to 10 keys, depending on the tier of the weapon and if it is rare. Halloween Fire is relatively similar in price to Pumpkin Bombs. Exorcism may also be combined with either of the 2 weapon spells, increasing the value of the weapon by 3 to 15 keys. In general, this obviously does not cover all weapons. Paint spells. Paint spells are the most commonly traded spells and often sell for a much higher average when compared to weapon spells. These spells generally, from lowest to highest in tier, go Dye Job, and then Putrescent Pigmentation, and then Sinister Staining, and then Spectral Spectrum, and then Chromatic Corruption. Some people may prefer and will pay more for low tiers of spells, but generally higher tiers of spells are more desirable and will sell for more. Dye Job and Putrescent Pigmentation will most of the time only add 1 to 5 keys on top of an item's value. Sinister Staining and Spectral Spectrum will add 2 to 6 keys on top, and Chromatic Corruption will add a minimum of 3 keys on top. These prices will hugely vary depending on the type of item. Items with bigger paint regions will have a higher price. Popular hats will be priced higher than unpopular hats, and Mystics or All-Class hats will have a much higher price. You'd rather have a Chromatic Corruption team captain than a Chromatic Corruption counterfeit Billy Gulk after all. Footprint spells, while most commonly traded as paint spells, have a much higher price than them. These spells will generally, in order from lowest to highest tier, range in the following: corpse grey footprints, violet footprints, bruised purple footprints or gangrene footprints, team spirit footprints or rotten orange footprints, and then headless washes for the highest tier. Some of these tiers may be swapped around, or some collectors may pay different amounts depending on the tier. These spells may sell for as high as the buyer is willing to pay, but corpse grey footprints will add a minimum of 4 keys, violent will add a minimum of 4 to 5 keys, bruised purple and gangrene footprints will add a minimum of 5 to 6 keys, team spirit footprints and rotten orange footprints will add at least 6 keys, and headless horseshoes will probably add about 8 keys. These will drastically increase or decrease depending on the type of hat. On miscs or boot/shoe related items, it will drastically increase, but on tiny or ugly cosmetics, it will go to almost 3-4 keys. When buying a quick sell spell, paint spells are usually the safest type. Buying a chromatic corruption ore class for 5 keys will allow you to flip it for a much larger profit than a weapon or a footprint spell. If a paint spell and a footprint spell are both on the same item, the item's value will be significantly increased. This hugely varies between each item, so you should look at other sellers on the market. Voices from Below is another type of spell, but is often forgotten about because it's one of the most hated spells. You will struggle to sell this spell unless it's on an extremely desirable cosmetic. It generally only adds about 1 key max to the price of an item. Personalized spells is another area of spells that is unfathomable to most traders. Why would someone pay 50 keys for a pretty mediocre looking coat with a single spell on it when they could get a full spell soldier loadout for that much? These spells are generally all over 50 keys, and some have been known to sell for thousands of keys. I do not have any experience with these, so I'll stop talking about them now. If you have trouble pricing spells, you can use one of the spell trading discords. You also receive a quick and reasonable price for your spelled items there. This video has not covered every aspect of trading and the largest parts of the market. If you want to see other videos about other topics such as kill streaks and painted items, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching the video, and if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe and like the video. If you want to see more, I have other guides in trading posted on my channel. This video was probably the longest trading guide I've done so far, and it took a really long time to write the script for and edit, so please like the video.